Welcome to this explainer. We really need to tackle one of the most pressing anxieties out there right now, AI automation. It feels like everyone is worried that algorithms are just, like, inches away from entirely replacing complex knowledge workers. So today, we're going to unpack the hard science and the actual data to see if these systems are truly ready to take over the whole shebang, or if, spoiler alert, you are actually more essential than ever.
We've all seen the staggering advancements in large language models lately, right? I mean, they generate code in seconds, write eloquent essays, and crunch spreadsheets at lightning speed. Naturally, this has sparked a massive cultural assumption that fully autonomous agents are just going to take over completely, basically rendering human experts obsolete, especially in highly technical fields like data science. But when we actually look at the empirical data, does that assumption really hold up?
Well, let's dive right into Section 1, the AI automation myth, and start separating the hype from reality.
To do that, we're moving straight into Section 2, introducing the AgentDS benchmark. To really test if AI can genuinely match human experts when their hands are, completely off the steering wheel, researchers from the University of Minnesota introduced a rigorous, first-of-its-kind benchmark called AgentDS. They wanted to answer a pretty fundamental question. When we push past those neat, basic spreadsheets and introduce the kind of chaotic, messy, domain-specific data that real companies deal with every single day, can an AI survive on its own? They built a framework to simulate real-world complexity, comparing human-AI collaboration directly against AI-only baselines. And they didn't just throw standard data at these models. They designed datasets that required actual, hands-on industry knowledge to solve, hiding critical clues across all sorts of different file types. And just to make absolutely sure the test was comprehensive, they crafted exactly 17 incredibly complex challenges. We are not talking about generic math problems here. These spanned 6 highly diverse industries: commerce, food production, healthcare, insurance, manufacturing, and retail banking. Imagine trying to predict patient readmissions from messy clinical notes, or forecasting the shelf life of food based on weird storage conditions.
Once those challenges were built, they didn't just test the AI in a vacuum. Oh no, they launched an open, grueling, global competition and constrained it to just 10 days. They challenged human data scientists from all over the world to try and solve these messy, real-world problems. And get this, the humans were completely free to use any AI tools they wanted, which set up the absolute perfect, most realistic test environment possible.
In total, 29 teams made up of 80 participants battled it out on the leaderboard. After those 10 days were up, the researchers took the absolute best autonomous AI agents available today, models running entirely on their own, and they dropped their scores into that exact same leaderboard. This gave us the ultimate undeniable data on how humans and AI perform under serious pressure.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, why AI fails alone.
So, what actually happens when we leave these cutting-edge AI systems entirely to their own devices? Let's completely strip away the human safety net and see how those autonomous agents fared against the human-led teams. And wow, here is the smoking gun. If you look at the distribution, the AI-only baselines rank definitively below the top human AI teams. Even the most incredibly powerful models, the ones running multi-agent frameworks that can code, test, and iterate totally on their own, they hit a hard ceiling. They simply could not replicate the strategies of expert human data scientists.
Let's put some actual numbers to that because it's pretty wild. MorphMind, which was the highest-ranking autonomous AI coding agent in the entire study, only managed to place 9th out of 29 teams. It couldn't even crack the top quartile. And those generic large language models, direct prompting with heavy hitters like GPT-4o, fell all the way down to 14th place, landing right near the participant median. They weren't exceptional, they were just perfectly average.
So why did they hit this ceiling? The data shows that autonomous agents struggle massively to extract domain-specific nuances from multimodal signals. Basically, when the AI was handed a straightforward spreadsheet, it did okay. But the very second critical information was hidden in PDFs, text files, or images, like, say, assessing real roof damage for insurance claims, the AI totally panicked. It defaulted to overly generic, off-the-shelf pipelines that just completely missed the big picture.
And that leads us right into Section 4. The enduring human advantage.
If AI stumbles the second the data gets messy and domain-specific, we really have to ask, what exactly is the enduring human advantage? What are we bringing to the table that a supercomputer processing billions of parameters is somehow missing? Well, think of AI as a high-speed engine that can generate boilerplate code and crunch numbers faster than any human alive. It's incredibly powerful for sure, but a powerful engine without a steering wheel?
That's just going to crash faster. The human is the strategic driver. We are absolutely essential for looking at the road ahead, anticipating shifts, and steering that vehicle safely to the actual business goal.
During the competition, human expertise provided irreplaceable value. Humans encoded unwritten domain knowledge, like knowing specific medical vital sign ranges that just wasn't obvious in the raw data. In practice, teams found that uncritically accepting AI-generated pipelines actually worsened their results. No way, right? The humans literally had to step in, filter out the AI's bad suggestions, inject crucial business rules, and sometimes even choose models with lower initial scores, simply because their human intuition knew the AI's model was dangerously overfitted.
All right, let's wrap this up with Section 5, the ultimate human-AI team. All of this builds toward the climax of the AgentDS experiment, revealing a brand new paradigm for the future of work. It is not man versus machine. It's actually something much more exciting. The data emphatically proves that the absolute best performance didn't come from a human or an AI acting independently. Not at all. The top of the leaderboard was utterly dominated by seamless human-AI collaboration. The winning teams used AI to rapidly write boilerplate code and accelerate their experiments, while the human experts rigidly maintained control over the strategic direction and the final judgment calls.
So, if we want to distill this whole explainer into 3 core takeaways, they are: first, autonomous AI completely fails at nuanced, domain-specific reasoning. Second, your human expertise and industry knowledge are absolutely not obsolete. In fact, they're the missing ingredient. And third, combining human strategy with AI speed creates an unbeatable team that shatters the performance ceilings of either one acting alone.
The really crucial point here is this: learning to guide, audit, and collaborate with AI tools is infinitely more valuable for your career right now than just stepping back and letting an AI run on autopilot. The future belongs to those who know how to drive the machine, not to the machine itself. I'll leave you with this final thought. Instead of fearing being replaced by the latest algorithm, how are you going to step up as the strategic driver in this new era of collaboration? How can you apply your unique, unwritten industry knowledge to steer these wildly powerful AI engines toward true innovation? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously challenge you to start driving the future today.